Let's look at y'all's assignment. This is the card sort. So you have several things that you're looking at. You have the card sort, which is there's 20 cards and you're finding domain and range. So there are 3 things you're doing for each one of these. Domain and range. You're determining discrete or continuous. And then you're doing function or not a function. So for each card, you're doing each of these 3 things. What I suggest doing first is deciding whether it's discrete or continuous in function or not. After you do that, then you can do your domain and range. So I have written how many of each you should have. So you should have 8 discretes. You should have 12 continuous. So this is kind of like your hint or your, a way of checking. And then you should have 14 functions and 6 non-functions. So if you did not get that, then you can go back and double check everything and see if you can kind of even that out. I will show you one that I messed up on so you don't mess up on it. Number 17 is one that I messed up on because function or not a function, I said this was a function, but look at this straight line right here. That's a not function. So make sure you don't make my mistake and put this as a not a function. So it should go on the not a function box. Okay. Okay, the next thing is knowing discrete and continuous. So I talked about discrete and continuous, but I am going to show you for discrete. It's written as an ordered pair, as a table, as a mapping, or a scatter plot. So if any of the cards are ordered pairs, tables, mappings, or a scatter plot, it is discrete, okay? If it's any other graph, it's continuous, because continuous are like these notes where it's a connected line or a curve, okay? So whenever you look at your first 4, this is connected, which is continuous. So that's why 1 is on the continuous. This one is connected, so it's also continuous. This, though, is an ordered pair, so that is discrete. This is continuous because it's connected. So for discrete, it's either ordered pairs like points, or it's a table, or it's a mapping, or it's just a list of ordered pairs. Those are what discrete will look like. And then continuous is a graph of any line or curve that is connected. And you're not connecting points to make it continuous. It's already connected. So that's why I would say this is continuous, because we have a connection between this line and this line. So we're going to do domain and range for number 1 and number 2. For any of the discrete ones, look back at your notes. And that was that pink page where we had order pairs, tables, mappings. This will help you with the discrete one, because all you're doing on discrete is making a list. For domain, it's X's. For range, it's Y's. So when we do domain and range, let's do number 1. I don't remember. So I'll go ahead and do it anyway. For domain, it is left and right. I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. To go left, it's going in the left direction, which is a negative direction, so it's negative infinity. The right is positive infinity because it's going left and right forever, forever, forever. So our domain is negative infinity is less than x is less than positive infinity. And then our range is low to high. So it doesn't have a lowest point because these arrows go on and on forever going down. So it's a negative infinity. And then our high is this point right here, which is at 2, -3. And the value that we want to know is range, which is our y values. So less than or equal to -3. So whenever you do this, it's fine to leave it like this, but on your card sort answers, it just has this. So whenever you look for it, there's actually two that are really close. It's S and T. This one's S because it's less than or equal to. The only time you flip it around is if the number is over here, the variable's here. Then you do the flip-flop and you flip it. So on here, you'll put S. So make sure on your answer sheet you put an S here. Okay, so for number 2, we're going to do domain and range also. So we're doing the same thing, left and right. So it's a circle, which kind of gets you confused at first, but you just have to remember it's domain, left and right. So how far left? It goes over here to this point. So that point is at -1, 1. And then our right is over here. The furthest right it goes is right here. And right here. So that's your left and right. Because remember, we're finding boundaries. How far it goes left, how far it goes right. So that would be 2, 1. So when we do domain, we're going to only do the x values. So domain is -1. Since it actually touches that point, there's not an open circle. It's going to be a less than equal to x. It's less than equal to 2. And then we'll do our range. Range is low to high. So this is my low value. This is my high value. So this point is at, looks like half, maybe, like 0.5, -1. This point up here looks like it's at, again, half and +3. So whenever we do our range, we do the y value. So we only care about the y value. So it'll be -1, and it touches that point. There's not an open circle there. So it's going to be less than equal to y, and then high is 3, less than equal to 3. So make sure on each one of these cards, if it's continuous, you do left, right, and low, high. So now we'll look at our answer sheet, our sort cutouts, and look for this domain and range. -1 to 2 and -1 to 3. -1 to 2, -1 to 3. So it's O. So then on your card sort answer sheet, you're going to put on number 2, O. Put an O here. So you should have S and O so far. It should look like that. Okay, so then on discrete ones like this, all you're going to do is make a list of your x values. So this is x, This is X, this is X, this is X. Make a list. For your range, you're going to make a list of your Y values. Make sure you write it from least to greatest. So you're going to get time in class today. And then we have our quiz on Monday. After the quiz, you can work on it again, and it'll be due Tuesday. So make sure you use time in class to work on it right now.